I really fucking love snacks.
Hello and welcome to Snack Time Podcast. My name is Lindsay Adams and I am your host. Thank you for listening. I love you. Thanks for watching all the stuff too on YouTube. Anyway, I'm supposed to say it at the end, but I'm really excited for our guest today because he's a fucking snack enthusiast too. He's a comic, he's a writer. Guys, welcome to the stage, CJ Toledano.
Welcome to the stage.
Welcome to the stage. That is how I keep introducing everybody in the way that like you would on stage. And it's like,
Well, we're
please
ill. It's
put
implanted in our brains.
I know. I say put your hands together too. And it's like, what if people are driving? I'm really just
Well,
talking about my mom.
but if they're driving, they're putting their hand, like maybe then you can look on like the LA traffic report and then think every single accident is an avid listener of Snack Time with Lindsay Adams.
Honestly, I hope so. I would love for people to get into like a full pileup of just minor fender
Yeah.
benders and be like, what happened? And they're like, I'm going to be honest. I was listening to a podcast about snacks.
I heard Lindsay talking about Trolly gummy worms and I just crashed and I'm going to be late for everything today.
Trolly gummy worms. You know, they have weird. One thing I just on a note, like, have you seen the hard shell?
I love them. I love
Me
them.
too.
Yeah.
I was like, this is super weird, so I have to try it. And then I was like, yep, I'm in love. This is perfect.
It's just like, and I know this isn't the snack we're doing, but
No.
it is like, I'm trying to think. It's a great hybrid of like when you don't know if you want like a runt and a gummy.
Mhm.
So it's a two-phase enjoyment process.
Yes. I mean, I will say like, and they have other things like that too. Trolly doesn't, but have you tried the what the fuck is it called? My brain just like really has a problem processing. What are the little guys called? Like the teeny little
Gobstoppers?
no, they're
Trolley
teeny.
brand?
No, not Trolly brand. We've talked to Nerds.
Nerds, yes.
They have Nerds balls.
Yep. I haven't had Nerds balls, but yeah.
It's like a really similar thing, and I actually think it's superior.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. I was like, this is weird, but I would love to know like the inception of candies like that, where they're just like, look, this doesn't seem correct, but we're gonna do it.
Well, I mean, yeah, shout out to them. I'm surprised it took so long to take the gamble or like to embark on these like spinoffs, but like, yes, they've been successful and we will try them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll try anything new. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So are you currently snacking right now, just on the mic in case people are listening?
I'm not, but I've been doing a lot of snacking as of late. Like this might be the first time in the last week I'm not snacking, and I thought it would be polite to not snack during this, but maybe that's the wrong call.
No. There's no wrong call. I like anytime I do a podcast, I don't like think about it and I bring a carbonated drink and then I'm like, do you want me to burp on the mic? And they're like, no. Like I always forget to, you can't chew gum and stuff, but I am really obsessed with these Mountain Dew Major Melons. Have you seen?
Whoa.
Okay, they have
never even heard of it.
Yeah, they have Mountain Dew Major Melon. It's a new flavor. I'm not sponsored by them. It's psychotic looking.
I didn't. Oh my god! And it's a zero.
Well, okay, you have to go to Bevmo to get the zero. You can get Baja Blast Zero, which I've been waiting my whole life for, and you can get Major Melon Zero, but you can only get it at Bevmo, as far as I know.
Well, and actually, that's shout out to you because like that has been like the biggest thing with sort of these obscure flavors of soda. I'm a big soda head as well.
Yes.
And it's a hunt when you are like to not get the standard diet or zero. And for like one, I haven't heard of Major Melon. So like, to know that there's a zero out there is huge. And also strawberry zeros or like a melon or like I guess outside of cherry, it's really hard to find a
Yes.
zero option.
No, I totally agree. That's why like I get so lit when I go to the movies and I get that like
Mhm.
Coke machine and they're like zero whatever and I'm like, "Fuck
What do you
yeah."
get?
I usually try to get I'm a big like raspberry Sprite
Mhm.
or like a lime Sprite or like and then I mix it with ginger ale. And
Yeah.
and then I rarely, but sometimes I'm not like a vanilla soda
Mm-mm.
person. I like things to be like fruit mixed. So that's what I'll do. What do you do?
I do a grape, Sprite Zero, or I do a grape ginger ale.
I gotta
So
try the grape.
it's sometimes it's too medicine-y, but
Yes.
sometimes I'm like, when I'm going to the movies, I'm like perfectly high and like I want that.
Yeah.
And Megan, my wife, usually hates when I pick the freestyle, but like because she kind of wants classic. She's like, hey, we're eating a giant bucket of popcorn and like peanut M&Ms and Twizzlers and all that. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need the low calorie option. And I'm like, listen, you know me, I need to cut out calories where I can.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love those machines.
Well, also it saves room for the food
Hmm.
because like you're not filled up by sugar. I know it
Yeah.
seems I know it doesn't seem like seems counterintuitive, but like in my mind, I'm like, well, why can't I have a sweet drink that doesn't make me full and then
Hmm.
everything else?
Yeah.
So
No,
actually makes a
it's
lot
a
of
great
sense.
philosophy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So let's get into your favorite childhood snack. I'm obsessed with that I would drink diet soda with because it's pretty robust.
Yep.
You chose Muddy Buddies.
I chose Muddy Buddies. I think I pitched a few items,
You
but I
did
was
pitch a
like,
few.
this was number one. This was
Yeah.
absolutely number one.
Well, you've talked about Nutty Buddies before. You've
Mhm.
mentioned them. Like I've been on road trips and taken pictures, and you're like, Muddy Buddies. And like we've talked about it before. So it made the most sense.
Yeah, well, I just feel like in the last couple of years, they've really made their way into the mainstream. And I know there's been a lot of controversy over whether they're called Muddy Buddies or Puppy Chow.
Yep.
And so I love that, now that the world knows and have seen the packaging, they're called Muddy Buddies. So like that is something I didn't know would be figured out in my lifetime. And I'm like, I love it. Like, and that's one of the bright sides of living right now.
Did you have a preference growing up? Like
Called a Puppy
what?
Chow growing up.
Okay, it was strictly Puppy Chow. You did
Yeah.
not have you didn't have the Muddy Buddies then.
Mm-mm.
And now you like
I
Muddy
think I had
Buddies
heard
better.
some people call them Muddy Buddies, but I always call them Puppy Chow. I think it was just also my mom had found the recipe and it was called Puppy Chow in that book.
Yeah. No, and it's so funny because like it's really like the lore of is that the right word?
Yeah. Yeah, I would
Okay.
say.
Of like the inception of this snack. Like nobody really knows. So it's fun. I mean, that's kind of the way it is with like a lot of what I would call PTA Mom Snacks
Yep.
because it's like nobody really knows where it came from, but it's like definitely a staple and has been. And there's people and they're like, I made it in the 60s, and it's like a whole thing.
Well, it's also like, yeah, in terms of PTA moms and like moms having to like make shit for their kids' classes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to fuck up, and you can make you can really make a lot at one time.
Yeah.
And that's what my mom was always like. And like, I was such a huge fan of it. Obviously, my mom was like, oh, it's your birthday, so you got to bring like the snacks.
Yeah.
So like, it was like giant brown paper grocery bags. If anyone knows how to make it,
Yeah.
of like, she's just like shaking them two-handed, like double fisting the Puppy Chow.
You did the grocery bags.
Yeah.
My mom would never let me have that, but when I would make it in school or go to like friends' places, I guess we didn't make it in school because I don't know who the fuck had a microwave, but I like go to the teacher's lounge. Everyone's like, please stop. Stop bringing the class in the teacher's lounge. No, it was a plastic bag.
Yeah, I recall the brown, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we had brown paper bags. No,
like in general in your childhood.
No, I'm thinking about it now. My mom did, but it just
Okay.
doesn't seem like something that was very. I was like I'm a big Ziploc
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
I mean, not specifically Ziploc because they don't sponsor me yet, but love a plastic zip.
Yeah. And actually,
Um,
now that you say it, I feel like my sister made it with the Ziploc bags.
there you go.
So like, yeah, it's one or the other. The way Puppy Chow Muddy Buddies, it's like brown paper bag or Ziploc. It's all up to
Yeah,
the artist.
the artist, but your mom made them for you, which is dope.
Yeah, I mean, there was also like, and I don't know if this is like a Filipino thing or like an immigrant mother thing, but like there would be, I guess they would call what was it, like a fair or whatever, and like kids would have their own stands, you know,
Yeah.
and they would be like, you can sell arts and crafts. So like kids were selling like popsicle stick action figures and
What?
also whatever. And my mom was just like, there's no art to this, but we're just gonna bag up little baggies of puppy chow and
Yeah.
we're gonna sell that. And like
Yeah.
it was a hit,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, shit always sells if it's cool food. Like, no
Hmm.
matter what, that is a shoe in. Like, God bless the people who make products, like physical products,
Yeah.
because I could just never. I mean, to me, it's just like the worst thing. You can't like taste an action figure. It just
Yep.
doesn't, there's no process in
Yeah.
my mind that like is instant gratification. Also, side note, we never had like entrepreneurial type fairs. It was always like go to the food fair and like it was a food fair and you would like try different foods. We did have like international foods, probably because everybody was white. And we were like, and it was like, have you ever heard of Chinese food? And I was like,
Oh my
what?
god. There was something like that at my school, and I'm probably just like it's a repressed memory at this point. But yeah,
Yeah.
very
I mean,
similar.
the international food fair, which was all like also just like European of like
Mhm.
it
Like
was
French
like
fries and from
yeah,
France.
it would be like, oh, like Polish whatever, pierogies. And it was like, whoa, crazy, like German, blah, blah, blah. Really didn't go to a diverse school. I've told this story before, but like I think of it now and it's psychotic. This girl moved here from the Netherlands
Mhm.
and she once brought in a Nutella sandwich and everybody made fun of her.
What the hell?
Yeah, everybody was like a chocolate sandwich and it's like this poor girl was so ahead of her time.
Yeah, I mean, she should be like class president
I
after
know.
something like that.
I think she was ugly and that was the problem.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, but also which, like, if there was another girl that moved here from fuck, where was she from? Amsterdam. And she talked about how people have sex when they're like 13 and it's like totally not a big deal. And we were all like, it's crazy that you're such a slut.
And she was popular.
No, well, she kind of was because she wasn't like ugly, but like, I mean, like, I just grew up in such like a white, like unwilling to change
Yeah,
area.
yeah,
There was like not a huge effort. Like this poor high school teacher had to like really push to have a class called Roots of Intolerance where we like just learned about genocide and shit
yeah,
like that, which I was obsessed with.
yeah,
I was always like seeking that kind like and then like really wanted to be out of the bubble and was like a loser for that. But like, I think about it now and I feel like he was like, please let me do this class. These kids really need it. And they were like,
yeah.
ugh. But
Well,
now I
he
love
probably is.
genocide.
I didn't mean to step on that.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, I mean, the kids like you and I who like really enjoyed that in our, sort of like mostly white, like non-diverse towns, we
Yeah.
moved to LA, New York, Chicago, all those places.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are the people, like the teachers, like who we really should be thanking
Oh,
for
for
bringing us
sure.
that, like telling us about genocide. So we moved to a town where people agree that that's a bad thing.
100%. Like I was such a loser for being a Jew. I like was like my mom came in and explained Hanukkah one year and I was mortified. I was like, how could you do this? And I had no idea that if I just stepped a little bit out of this town in New Jersey, there
Mhm.
was like 400 million Jews.
I didn't know a single Jewish person until I moved to Chicago, and every single one of my friends was Jewish.
That's what I heard from so many people in the Midwest. It's crazy.
Mhm.
They're like, I've never met a Jewish person. And I was like, I moved just a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was like insane.
Well,
And
probably yeah.
no, go ahead.
The first Jewish person I met, Drew Michael. So, like, I really got
That's so
launched into
funny.
it.
That's so funny. Wow, you really did get launched into it. A lot of Holocaust jokes
Yeah,
there. A
yeah.
lot of Holocaust. I kept accidentally living in Jewish neighborhoods
Mhm.
where there were like Orthodox and Hasidic Jews. And I was like, wait, how did I? And they spotted you from a mile away.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to be a little bit Jewish. And they just go, are you Jewish? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, Mazel. I'm like, oh no, what is this? Why did you just invite me over? So, but yeah, it's anyway, the diversity piece, but thank God for everything that brings together everything, which is essentially 90s PTA Mom Snacks.
Yes.
I mean, they sell them. So they sell them now, which is like a newer thing that you mentioned.
Well,
And
yeah, they're packaged. Oh, I wanted to see. I wanted to see. I forget who does it. Is it just Chex Mix? Kind of just like owned it, like claimed ownership on it, since they're the main
yeah, it's like,
ingredient.
well, it's General Mills and I believe it's General Mills. It might not be. It
Yeah,
might be Nabisco, but I would
yeah.
have to look. But yeah, I mean, and I should know, but
Well, and again, the main thing is whoever came up with it and is claiming ownership over it. How the hell did it take them so long?
I know. Okay, it is General Mills. I
Okay.
just had a quick look. It's General Mills, and I know how do they, but you know what? I think like I actually don't. You know how a lot of like cereal companies will have the recipes on the back?
Mhm.
And I feel like who buys Chex Mix for any other reason?
But this, yeah,
Or not even Chex Mix, but just Chex. Yeah.
yeah.
Nobody buys Chex to eat as cereal. You buy it to make Chex Mix or Muddy Buddies.
Yes.
So it's like they kind of had to choose, do we want people to buy our cereal or do we want them to buy this product that's more like, do we want to admit defeat?
I don't know if it's just someone smart in there. Someone like whatever the Zuckerberg of treats got in there and was like, guys, it's been in front of us this whole time. To the point, and then like, I mean, I want to get in to the history or like find out what happened, but now there's spin-offs. There's cookies and cream.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
I can tell you essentially like everyone at Chex was pretty stupid.
mhm.
And it took other people to like be like, hey, we like love this thing. And they
Mhm.
were like, oh, but do you want the cereal? And they were like, not
No,
really. And then
stop being
finally
so boring.
they like, well, they noticed the seasonality like of sales that would rise. So it was like around Christmas or around different holidays, they would be like, whoa, people love our cereal. And then it really just took them a long time
It's
to
like, we're not using it to eat it as cereal, you idiots. It's
I
kind of like
know,
when like cold medicine kind of had a huge moment because people were making drugs with it,
right?
you know?
McCusson was like, I'm so glad people have finally
Yeah, they're like, we're doing a killer job. It's like, you guys are idiots. People are getting high off your shit.
I know. I never heard of Coricidin until I was like, oh yeah, okay. Like Coricidin is not a cool cold medicine, but they
No,
were probably like, yeah, fuck yeah, man. Like,
it just goes well with crack.
I
Didn't you
know
know that?
exactly. Or meth. I don't know which
Yeah.
one. Anyway, we're not teaching people how to make drugs on
No,
this
you're not.
podcast, but we are free to talk about drugs.
Okay.
It took them till 2000. It was sold as a seasonal product from 2009 until 2011. So that's how long it took
Okay.
for them to like sell the packaged version. Otherwise, it's been like in a bajillion like home recipe books
Yep.
called different things. I mean, now they like, kind of branded it, but otherwise it was just like a thing that people shared for holidays and shit.
Were there any other alternate names than what we've said?
So there's puppy chow. So this will help. I have 2 truths and a lie, which will help us
Okay.
get into some facts.
Yeah.
But there are different names.
Okay.
So, but there's not like a ton, but like, I mean, bored moms, they just do their own thing.
Yeah.
And, so it's also like I think it feels good when there's a normal recipe and you make it slightly different and you're just like, I decided that the name is, and then whatever you want.
Well, and so that's actually a great point because the thing about, I said it earlier, like you can't fuck it up. Like if you accidentally put an extra cup of chocolate chip or extra peanut butter,
Right.
it's like, you're just putting your own spin on it. Like it's still gonna,
Right.
it's gonna taste incredible no matter what. And like that's what moms out there who are trying to perfect the recipe.
Yeah.
They're like, I put I put a little extra chocolate chip or a little extra whatever.
Yeah.
Or I went heavy on the checks. It's like, yeah, there is an artistry to it. And Muddy Buddies is only like the packaged stuff right now.
Right.
It's still only an interpretation, but it's definitely efficient and easy to get.
Yeah, and I really don't mind the cookies and cream, by the way. Like,
yeah, I've done it on accident before, or just been like so set on it and they didn't have it.
On accident.
Yeah, and I was like, that's good.
That's so funny. Yeah, I just made like a batch of cookies with like that I kind of threw together. That was like an alternate recipe, and Nick was like, "You should name them," and I was like, "Well, I don't know what to call them," and he was like, "Just call them Fred Durst Fudgies."
Is there anything characteristic of Fred Durst in them? Okay.
No,
Yeah,
there's nothing related to Fred Durst whatsoever, but it really just sounded right. So now they're called Fred Durst Fudgies, and who knows? But let's get into 2 truths and a lie because this will help us get to know. This will help us get to know Muddy Buddies a little bit. So I have 2 rounds.
Love on the bottom here. It says CJ Toledano and Muddy Buddies.
Yeah. There you go.
That I would like to use. My friend Jamel is here, and he actually.
Oh my God! Tell him I said hi.
Jamel has a Muddy Buddies thing about me.
Does he? Yo, what up?
A bit about me and Muddy Buddies.
Jamel Johnson, how are you?
Yes, we're in Akron, Ohio.
She says, "How are you?" First.
How you do? I'm good. Love to have.
Thank you.
We've been in Akron, Ohio for hours. We were in an abandoned building for 15 hours, no plumbing. We finished the shoot. We're finally going back to our hotel. Me, Rob Hayes, exhausted, ready to die. The first thing he sends us when he gets back to the room is, "Hey guys, I just got a bag of Muddy Buddies." I've never wanted to kill a man more than when I saw that picture of a bag of Muddy Buddies. He didn't even ask me if I wanted any.
I was tipping you off to where they were, but yes, I think it does definitely, it triggers something in Jamel's brain of like, how is this dude who just put us through the ringer chilling and having Muddy Buddies now? So you got one more thing?
Funny.
Okay.
There was nowhere to pee in the building. I don't give a shit about no candy right now.
We had to go to a grocery store to pee.
Oh, I was gonna say,
sorry.
Did you use a bottle? But that's probably
there were some people who did use bottles on set.
I don't judge anyone for that, especially if you're a dude and you have that capability. Go for it.
Yes. Yes. But yes, I forgot. Jamel is here. He's recording another podcast in my office. So
sick.
It's Podcast Central.
It is Podcast Central. Well, also Jamel should be on this podcast because
I'd
love to hear his snack ideas. Okay, so 2 truths and a lie. I've got 2 rounds. This is gonna decide if you actually know anything about your favorite snack.
Okay.
Okay, so I have 3 statements. Obviously, there are 2 truths, 1 is a lie. So here we go. 1, a dog food company invented Chex. 2, they tested a nut-free version of Muddy Buddies package that wasn't successful. 3, they used to call Chex human chow.
2 truths and a lie. So I'm going to go with the third one is the lie.
The third one is the lie.
Human chow.
Yes. Wait, did I do this wrong?
Or
No,
am I
that's
playing this
not the
game wrong?
lie.
Oh
That's
my
not the
gosh.
lie. They used to call it human chow because the other truth, the lie is that there was a nut-free version. So
Oh my gosh.
they didn't even fuck with it. But literally Purina, the dog food company, invented Chex.
What?
Yeah, it
So
doesn't
puppy chow might be the actual correct name.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because it evolved into different things. So
Wow.
it's like the dog food company invented Chex and then they had to call it human chow so that people would know that it wasn't animal food.
That's crazy. Okay.
And they didn't understand what Chex was, like the name. And so they were just like, okay, well, I guess this is like human chow now.
God damn. Okay. Yeah, that explains a lot, but is also very surprising.
I know. And then obviously Purina had to back down because nobody wanted to be like, this dog food company, it also makes cereal. It's like, that's not a good marketing.
Yeah.
And again,
I would have tried to get that scrub from the internet, to be honest, if I was them.
I know, exactly. I mean, now it makes me question like the evolution of Chex and like how that came into play and question it. So that's the lie. It confusing, but it was one of the names was human chow. But I don't think that was the name for like the recipe thing. It was just literally the name for Chex.
Gotcha.
Okay. So here's your second round.
Okay.
1, it has also been referred to as reindeer chow. 2, it has also been referred to as monkey chow. 3, it has also been referred to as bunny chow. Which one is the lie?
Dang. I feel like I've definitely heard reindeer chow before. And then the last one was bunny chow.
Bunny chow.
That's tough because I'm fine with all of them.
Right. None of them are gross.
I'm going to go with monkey chow.
Is the lie?
Yeah.
Confirm?
Yeah, that's my final answer.
Okay, you failed.
God damn it. This shit is hard.
I know. Well, this is like a pretty intense quiz. I do my research and then, here's a pop quiz. I'm the snack teacher. Here we go. Went from roots of intolerance to snacks. Obviously, I learned a lot. I was like, genocide? No, thanks.
Well, I just thought monkey chow sounded the most racist. So I was like, let's get that one out there.
Monkey chow, I don't know how it became monkey chow. There's really like no origin story to that as far as I know. I think it was just like a random, I'm sure there might be like a racist connotation. Reindeer chow, obviously for the holidays, but there's no change in recipe. Monkey chow, no idea. Bunny chow is not what it's called. Bunny chow is actually a South African dish made with curry.
Okay.
So that is the lie, but it would make sense to call it bunny chow around Easter, right?
Yeah, if this was like a primarily seasonal food, bunny chow. I mean, like even like I was imagining rabbits and bunnies, like people thinking, oh yeah, it looks like food for them. That's why we can nickname it that. It's fun.
Right.
But, okay.
But yeah, I mean, what would it be called for Halloween? What do you think?
You can't say pumpkin chow because pumpkin is a flavor at this point.
Yes.
You could call it
spooky chow. No.
Spooky chow is good, or ghoulish chow, or ghost chow, or
ghost chow. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, you know what would be awesome? Actually, I'm just thinking about this. So what if you made puppy chow with melted like Halloween candy? So like Snickers, Reese's, all that stuff.
That would be good. Like, especially using Reese's specifically, because then you get the chocolate and the peanut butter.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, I don't know if it would like interrupt the texture. That's like classic.
Right.
But I'm like big on using Reese's for s'mores, using like Snickers. like all that stuff. So like
Me too.
that is one thing to experiment with, I think.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna have to try it now.
Hell yeah. And call it Ghost Chow.
Okay, I'll call it Ghost Chow, and I'll be like, CJ coined the name, and if it's disgusting, it'll also be on you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so now I want to get into my favorite game for this podcast called Fuck, Marry, Kill, Poly Partner.
Okay.
So obviously, Fuck, Marry, Kill. We're pretty progressive at Snack Time, so we've added a poly partner option, and this is what it looks like. So this would go in addition to your married partner. So whatever you choose to marry, you can also have an additional poly partner on the side. So you could have it as often or as not often as you like. You can have it with your married person.
Okay.
So we have 3 rounds. They're all themed of different kinds of snacks. And I don't know, some of them might be tough. Some of them we're just going to have to see what happens. Okay. So here's the first round. We talked about this PTA Mom Snacks. And here are your options for Fuck, Marry, Kill, Poly Partner. We've got Fudgy No Bakes, which you mentioned.
Yep.
Dirt Pudding.
That's classic too.
Ants on a Log. And Trail Mix with M&Ms.
Okay. Remind me, Ants on a Log is peanut butter covered
celery
with raisins.
Yeah.
Jamel just like gave me a thumbs up. He was like, "That's it."
I
Okay.
can't believe.
So I would fuck the Fudgy No Bakes. I would marry the wait, hold on. No, I think I would fuck the Dirt Pudding.
Okay.
Marry the Fudgy No Bakes.
Okay.
What was the fourth one? Ants on a Log and
Trail Mix with M&Ms.
I'm gonna kill the Ants on a Log, and I'm gonna poly the Trail Mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So explain what Fudgy No Bakes are, because there's different names for that too.
So it's in the name No Bakes. So what? It's like melted chocolate with oats, peanut butter, and I've heard people have, there's several takes on this.
Right.
But yeah, peanut butter is I think the recipe that my mom would use, and like the ones that I like. And then it's kind of just like little goop, and you just put it on just like a cookie sheet, and you freeze it, or you
can put it in the fridge, or you can freeze it. It doesn't really matter, but I had never heard it called Fudgy No Bake. So when you said that, well, I don't know. Like I don't even know if we made, the only time that we made like no bake type cookies was when we made those spiders for Halloween. Do you know what I'm talking about with the pretzels?
Yes, those were great.
Yeah. I mean, those are classic. We love it. But otherwise, I can't remember. I mean, I had them, but I was always like, this is fine. But now as an adult, I feel like I might like it better.
Yeah. It was just another easy one, or it was just such like a trend.
Yeah. I think it was just like no bake cookies. That was like literally all we called it.
Yeah. But I feel like there's also another name outside of those two.
Yeah, I mean, people literally just call it no bake cookies, classic no bakes. People do call it Fudgy No Bakes a whole bunch, which is like surprising.
Yeah.
Like Betty Crocker has a recipe that's like Fudgy No Bakes.
Yeah, and also it's another thing that again I don't know how it hasn't crossed over to like packaging. You know what I mean?
I feel like it would melt. Like people don't put in their brain that they should put cookies. You have to keep them at a certain temperature.
Okay.
I mean,
is that some weird chemical that'll give us cancer eventually that could keep it from melting?
Well, we could ask Oreo about it because they have fudge covered Oreos.
Yes.
So we could have a conversation with Oreos and see what the deal is.
Okay. Let's have that convo. This is what 2021 is all about.
Yeah.
Time to have those conversations, Lindsay.
I know it's time to open it up. I feel like it's been like a pretty taboo conversation about, making childhood snacks packaged, but we're adults now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to get with capitalism.
Let's get with it. Let's grow up.
But I think your choices were I actually, when I thought about this, I feel like I fucking liked ants on a log.
I did not. I remember seeing that shit and like, why are you mixing treats with vegetables, you weirdos? Get away from me.
I like it, I think, because first of all, I like food that looks like other things.
Mhm.
And second of all, it was a weird combo that I was like into, that it was weird.
No, I'm like, it's probably really good and like it's a healthy snack too.
Yeah.
And like in terms of snacks, this is a quick little. Megan's mom was in town, and so Megan's feeling under the weather, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I could probably go for a snack, like pretzels, M&Ms, salad." And I like flipped out when she said salad. I was like, I don't care how sick you are, salad is not a snack.
Wow.
You need something substantial. You need something that's going to grow some hair on your chest, as all the men in my life growing up would say.
So funny. Yeah. I really wouldn't put salad in a snack category. I really don't think that's correct. That's so funny
Cups, maybe.
No. Well, I mean, this is a good
Has an app.
That's the thing, is like, this is a question we've debated on this podcast too, is like, are appetizers a snack, or are they, because you can have them as a meal, obviously.
Yep.
But are they a snack? Like, is it essentially like a restaurant snack?
Yes, I'd say yes.
But you serve them at parties as a snack.
Yes. I don't know.
It's a hard question. My take is this. I like pigs in a blanket is a really good one to think of. If you have like 5 pigs in a blanket, that's a snack. But you can't have 5 pigs in a blanket and then like also chips and dip, and then like that's when it becomes a meal.
Yeah, because like a side becomes an entree at that point.
Exactly. Like if you're filling a plate, that's when I think you cross the line.
Well, it's like, have you heard of struggle lunches?
Kind of.
I mean, it's just like, when you're broke working at these startups, as I have, in a lot of my 20s, I was skipping out on lunch, but it's like, these startups are like, we have all these snacks. And I'm like, all right, cool. So like,
oh yeah,
I'll grab like a Cliff Bar will be the main one. Some chips will be the side. And then I'll have, like a mini Snickers as the dessert.
I didn't know that had a name.
Struggle lunches. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that.
So I like, that's how I got through all of doing comedy in Chicago, was working at Groupon, struggle lunches. I'm trying to think what else.
Fucking Groupon.
Yeah.
What did you do at Groupon?
I was a customer service rep.
Me too. Like you worked at the call center?
So yeah, I was the first customer service rep who they let work remotely, and I'm surprised that they did not end the program after that. Because what I would do, and so I don't know if your listeners would understand this, but so I was working. This is when I was interning at Conan. But I would, they would be like, all right, here's the deal. We'll make it super easy for you. You have to solve a certain amount of tickets a week.
Yep.
I think it was like, I don't know, 500 or something for the amount of time. And so what I would do, I would just claim all the change password tickets on like Monday. And by Wednesday, I would just go through all of them and just, they would count towards the numbers. But, those are the easiest tickets to solve.
Fuck.
Yeah. So they caught on after a few months, and they're like, CJ, we know you don't want to be good at this, but we just can't go on with you doing this.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a contract and I was in the call center where it was like people would call in and like I could do some of the tickets where people would email, but I think it was at the point where like most people were calling in and it would be like change password, but it would be like on the phone with someone.
Yeah.
And I just like fucked off a bunch and was like I remember getting like, they had a huge like coffee bar and I was like really into the coffee bar. And so I would just like go and do weird shit like that. And I had some friends that worked there next to me. And it was like, it's clear. I think it was like actually like my contract ended. Do you remember Snowpocalypse in Chicago? Yeah. Because I remember going home. First of all, they did not want to let us go home early that day. And we were like, no, we have to go home. The trains are going to like get fucked. And so, yeah, I remember going home and getting off the red line at Broadway and like walking down in like waist deep snow from
Yeah.
fucking, and Groupon the next day was like, "Are you coming in?" And everyone was like, "Eat shit."
This would have been what, January of 2011?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, and I
I was
also had,
jealous. I was living out here,
were
and
you?
I didn't like it, and I just remember all of our friends like posting on Facebook like we're all drinking and enjoying snowpocalypse together, or like fuck work or all this stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just remember like, oh, I would have loved to have gotten drunk in that
Yeah.
burrito house or something.
No, I mean, I also had an experience with Groupon, like the worst job interview of my life,
Yeah.
where I had a friend get me in for an interview for like one of their like marketing slash sales positions. And this was like, I was like freshly graduated, like not even graduated from college. I was like setting it up for a post college job. And I went in, and my dad had just like been diagnosed with cancer.
Mhm.
And I went in and they started the interview, and it was like, they're aggressive, right? Like
Oh
they're
yeah.
like sales and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, "Yeah, this sounds good. What's the work-life balance like?" And they were like, "I mean, you gotta hustle." And I was like, "I mean, all of this sounds fine. I mean, my dad's dying. So and then I literally had a meltdown and was just
Oh
like, "I just
man.
don't know if I'll be available because if my dad dies, blah, blah, blah." And they were like, "Thank you so much for coming in."
But you got the job.
No, this was
Oh,
later. They were like,
okay.
"Absolutely not." And then later they were doing like customer service contracts, like over a
Gotcha.
year later.
Gotcha.
So
Well,
an adventure with Groupon. Regardless, here's my take on the PTA Mom
yes.
Snacks. Okay, so I would kill fudgy no bakes,
Mhm.
unfortunately, because I just don't care about them. I would marry dirt pudding, which is one of my faves. I would fuck the ants on a log, and then I would poly with the trail mix with M&Ms.
Yeah.
Which I think is just because I like variety, and I
Yeah.
like when you can. Dirt pudding, it's like you can just eat the top. It usually has some gummies on it.
That is another piece that it's like I love seeing people's interpretation. It's so cool. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, dirt pudding, mud pies. I think they were also called at one point.
Mud pies. There's also a version with, I think, cheesecake. It's like not
Oh,
quite.
interesting.
I know. I went to a wedding in like Wisconsin and they served it, and I was like, I couldn't be happier.
I love
Um,
that.
I know, I couldn't remember what it is. It was just such a Wisconsin thing to do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I like the interpretations of that. I agree. I would fuck ants on a log because, like I said, like every now and then I'm like, what an interesting combination. But it's like, no, I'm not going to eat it every day. That's too much.
I've just been tricked into eating healthy too many times by saying, just put peanut butter on it. It's like, am I that stupid and like close-minded that I just like need peanut butter smeared on vegetables in order to eat them?
Yes. I mean, I am.
Yeah.
Especially celery. They're like, it's a cool celery diet. And I'm like, okay, well, there's half of a can. There's half of a container of peanut butter on it. So I hope that
Yeah.
is fine. And trail mix with M&Ms is like a really good part-time.
Yes. That's a great go-to hand, like just also having it in your hand and you can walk around and talk to people while eating it.
Yeah, and it's also not healthy.
Well,
So
it's the
that's the
ratio
part that,
matters.
yeah, I mean, I think like trail mix now, it's like with granola, like when we were
Mhm.
kids, they were like granola's healthy, and then they were like, whoops, it's actually like jam packed with sugar and
Mhm.
calories. I feel like the same thing happened with trail mix. They were like, trail mix is great, and then it was like, you just have chocolate in there. It's literally peanut M&Ms. So sure, but okay. Okay, so this is our second category, basketball game snacks.
Mm.
Thought you might like that.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Okay, so this would be like when you're at the stadium or
Okay.
whatever they call it. Okay, so first we have shelled salted peanuts. We have chili cheese dogs, a corn dog, and nachos.
Ooh, that's tough. Okay, I'm gonna fuck the corn dog
Great.
or get fucked by the corn dog. Let's see. I'm gonna go marry the nachos. Nachos just like cannot be topped in
Love
most
it.
cases. I'm gonna go kill the salted peanuts. It's just a little bit too. I don't know the mess. I'm not that into that tradition. Throwing it
Yeah,
on the ground like for
sure.
game attendants to come and clean it up. Like that's bullshit. Put that shit in a bag. Throw it away after you're done. And then I'm gonna poly with what was the last one again?
The last one was chili cheese dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna poly with a chili cheese dog.
Interesting.
What do you think?
I hate chili cheese dogs.
Well,
I
that's
like.
where you
I'm
and I
not.
differ.
I'm I'm not like a put chili on it fan like of
Mhm.
shit. And Nick is like a coney is blah 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 with the Detroit thing, but like I just it's a hard no for me. Like chili doesn't belong on anything. It makes it soggy. It's just like no,
I'm
chili
kind of at
is
a loss for
only with
words. I thought you would really. I've known you for a decade, and I
yeah.
just thought you'd be on the chili train.
I know, and it's surprising to people, but it's like first of all, I haven't eaten chili in like probably 10 years. And
Wow.
because I just don't feel the need. And I especially don't, it looks gross. Like it looks gross on stuff. And normally that would not deter me, but for some reason, it's not like a flavor mix I'm
Are
into.
you a Sloppy Joe fan at all? Do you like Sloppy Joes?
No. Well, sloppy joes have a sweet sauce. It's different.
Mhm. I would just
And they
so mainly it's like consistency, texture, the presentation of it you're not into of the chili.
yeah, and I like a hot dog, but I don't want it smothered in chili.
Okay.
And I don't want chili on my fucking nachos. I don't want no chili anywhere. People do chili.
Ground beef though on nachos? Just ground beef?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want the soggy part to be the cheese and guacamole.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It could be completely overkill with chili and the nacho cheese being, especially the creamy kind or like the liquid
Yeah.
kind. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I want that part to be the prominent flavors. I also am fine with just nachos that are just cheese if it's good cheese.
Mhm.
So I'm a dumb little baby about that too. Same thing with cheese fries. I mean, I do like when people get creative with fries, but not with chili.
I like the chili fries, but I don't have enough of is the like bacon bits and cheese on fries. I think that's like a hit.
Interesting.
With I think like chives, people
Interesting.
put chives, maybe some sour cream on
Mm.
it.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense too because you can have that's what you do a baked potato with.
Exactly. So I've seen that iteration a little bit, and I'm into it. I don't think people do
That's
it
good.
enough.
You know what I really fucking like? And I was just talking about this the other day. And like in Chicago, there's this place on Clark in Lincoln Park that was
Mhm.
like newer that sold, I think it was, yeah, it was Korean. It was like Korean dumplings.
Mhm.
And they made kimchi cheese fries.
That does sound great.
And they were so fucking good
Yeah.
with like a little bit of spicy mayo, like and chives, or like green onion. And I'm sure they exist in LA, but I have not been able to find them, especially like with cheese, like straight up real cheese. That's not been a mix for fries.
Yeah, I don't know how to do cheese with kimchi. Like again, that's why I'd want to go to a place that specializes in it because I'd probably mess
Yeah.
that up. It's probably not
Well,
as easy as just melting cheese and kimchi.
Well, it's like also warm kimchi is not something that I like would think of.
Yeah.
So which like is actually like my favorite version, but like I think they just like melt the cheese on the fries and then throw kimchi and then all the other stuff on it. And It was so good. It was so much cheese. So that is like what I agree with. But if it was chili, for example, I would throw up. If it was chili, I would call 911.
Oh my God. So dramatic.
If it was carnitas, I would throw it right in the trash.
Wow, you don't like carnitas?
I like carnitas, but again, not on fries. I'm so
Yeah.
specific about my fry texture. If something makes it soggy, I'm furious.
Okay.
Which
That's
has
good to
also
know.
been a struggle during the pandemic because if you deliver fries or get them takeout, it
Yes.
ruins them immediately.
What is your favorite kind of fry type, like general type? And then what's the best takeout fry?
I would say that skinny fries are my favorite
Mhm.
because they can get crispy, like the size of McDonald's fries. That's
Okay.
like my favorite kind of fry. I like them over salted, better than under salted, and then I'll eat them with anything. The huge steak fries are disgusting.
Oh my gosh, we're the more we talk, the more far apart we are.
Really? Oh
I love
God.
steak fries. I love crinkle cut fries. Those are my top 2 fries.
Yeah, no thanks. Although I'll see the cheese sauce at Shake Shack is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, Shake Shack is great. I think Shake Shack deserves more love than In-N-Out. I mean, but that's the
I
whole thing.
totally agree with you on that. 100% agree with you on that. There's also like Hi Ho Burger that's like
Mhm.
newer that I'm like, I do fuck with this.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with In-N-Out. How dare they is really just like the theme of how I feel.
Well, and people are like, it's so good. I know the fries aren't great, and it's just like you can't fuck up fries. If you want to be considered top tier, you can't
Yeah.
just go like on fries and never try to figure them out.
Yeah. There's fries. Well, what's interesting? I think I had this in Atlanta for the first time, and obviously they think they have them everywhere. Cornmeal covered fries. So it's like
That sounds
before they
gross.
fry them. And no, it's so good because
Okay.
it gives them an extra crunch. So the outside is like crunchy and has like a little like cornmealy taste, and then the inside is like it's like actually incredibly delicious. I like when I can tell that a fry has been altered before it's been in the fryer. So I don't know, but I'll say this though, you know what I do fuck with, even though I don't like steak fries, I like potato wedges.
Yes, those are great too. Home fries,
Yes, because
maybe.
it's a
Yeah.
completely different thing.
Mhm.
But French fries should be thin and crispy.
Can't agree with you there.
Okay,
So
well, you're obviously an idiot. Moving on. I
those
would
are
say
facts.
here I would kill the chili cheese dog. I would marry the corn dog. I would poly with the nachos, and I would fuck you know what? I take it back. I would fuck the chili cheese dog because I'm always down to try something just to see if it's good or not. And then I can like pass on it. And then I would kill the shelled salted peanuts, which I do like at a sports game. But if we're doing like dream team,
Mhm.
it's not on it.
Yeah.
So
I don't like they're wet sometimes. I just I don't like that.
I mean, I like, but the part that I like about the shelled salted peanuts is like, or I meant to say shell on. I like interactive food. I like when you have to work
Yeah.
for it because otherwise it's just like like
Best version of that. What would you say? Like because I agree with you. That is totally a genre. Because I can't eat like lobster or anything like that. That's what I
yeah.
also think of.
Oh,
But
you can?
interactive? No, I mean I'm allergic to all shellfish and like
Shit.
seafood pretty much. So interactive. That's a good. There's more, but I can't think of any.
I mean, that's why it's like s'mores are great. Like all of this stuff
Mhm.
is like you have to put together yourself or take apart. I love it. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
So, and it slows me down quite a bit. So I like that. I was like, I've talked about Amy Silverberg. Her episode was Slim Jims. And we talked about beef jerky for a while. And how like my favorite beef jerky is the kind that's so dry that you're like, is this a dog treat?
Yeah.
because it's like really, it's some hard work to get it to be.
People love that. Like, again, like these dudes in the woods, like, oh, you gotta try my jerky. And I'm like, get a life. I make videos that are funny.
Oh my God, get a life. I mean,
you make jerky? Get out of my face.
Jerky seems hard to make. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
There's that place in Big Bear, and they really they're up their own ass.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. So here's the last category.
Okay.
We have cereal Crispies.
Yes. Another thing you mentioned. Yep.
You did. And we'll get to the last thing you mentioned at the end because I didn't make a category, but
cool.
Cereal Crispies, here are your choices. We've got Fruity Pebble Crispies, which you mentioned.
Okay.
Classic Rice Krispies, Lucky Charms Crispies, and Cocoa Pebbles Rice Krispies.
Okay. For sure, you got to kill Cocoa Pebble Rice Krispies.
Okay.
You gotta. Can you say the second option again?
Classic Rice Krispies.
Okay. So, ooh, this is hard. Okay, I'm gonna go fuck Fruity Pebbles. I'm gonna go marry Classic. It's just you're gonna have like a good relationship. Like you'll be in love. There'll be some moments of tension and stuff, but like you're the one.
It's a stable partner.
Yeah, kill Cocoa Pebbles, and then the last one was
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms. Yeah, I had a good Lucky Charms Rice Krispie during the pandemic, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Polly on that.
Interesting. Okay, I mean, I think your choices are good because I would also kill the Cocoa Pebbles Rice Krispies. I just don't care if it's gonna be chocolate. Fucking chocolate it up. It just doesn't to me. I don't need it in a Rice Krispie.
I agree. It's you're really kind of diluting the cocoa and the chocolate flavor, which they already kind of are in the Cocoa Pebbles.
Right. Cocoa Pebbles is bad.
Yeah. It failed. Again, it was another thing of like, I'd be like, I want the Flintstone cereal when I was a kid, and my mom would get the Cocoa Pebbles, and I'd just be like, no, it's not what I meant. So that's why I learned intention in asking for specifics.
Yeah, exactly. No, and the Fruity Pebbles do a really good job with like the fruit flavor.
Oh my
whereas
gosh.
like some of them are lacking. Some of the fruit flavors are lacking. I will say, like, I keep forgetting about Fruit Loops, and I love Fruit Loops.
Yep.
I keep fucking forgetting about them. They're such a fun. I've made Fruit Loop. I've fucked around with a bunch of Crispies.
Yep.
I've made Fruit Loop ones, and they absolutely destroyed the roof of my mouth.
That's what I was going to say. And I feel like that's a whole nother section I'd love to discuss at some point. The foods are so good, but just completely shred your mouth, hurt your mouth. But yeah, Fruity Pebbles is definitely one of them.
There's so many of them. It's crazy. Yeah. I can't believe this weekend I tried a bunch of snacks from World Market, and I'm shocked that the roof of my mouth isn't fully destroyed because it included kettle cooked potato chips.
Yep.
And sour belts.
Yeah.
And
my mouth is watering now.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, honestly, so fucking good. And the potato chips, I'll say this on the note of like the French fry conversation, the potato chips were flavored truffle and butter. And I was like, a butter potato chip? Best fucking potato chip I've ever had.
I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
It was so, I was like, so taken aback by this flavor. And I was like, all it needs is just like a teensy bit of Parmesan, just a teens, or like just a teensy bit of sour cream, some dairy product.
I mean, that's what it goes back to. Yeah, baked potatoes this way dressed up are so good. Like, what is the bite size or like Lay's flavor version of it? And that's that.
Exactly. Yeah. So here are my choices for fuck, marry, kill, poly partner for cereal Crispies, which is pretty hard. A Fruity Pebble Crispy is pretty solid. So is a classic Rice Krispie. Every time I make classic Rice Krispies, because Nick loves them, and every time I make them, I'm always like surprised at how satisfying they are, just as it is. So that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
So I would definitely kill the Cocoa Pebble Rice Krispies. I think that I would Mm, this is hard because I love Lucky Charms, but it would destroy the roof of my mouth, I'm pretty sure. Because the
The
wheat
white
part.
ones, yeah.
Yeah.
The white ones. I'm 5 years old. I don't like it's like my nephew or Megan's nephew, Bobby, when we went to an Italian restaurant and there was pepper on the spaghetti.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't like the black stuff. It's like, pepper, you idiot. No, I'm just kidding. But I was just like that. I was just like that as a kid.
Yeah. No, I just was like, I don't like it. Like once I learned the names for stuff, I was like more than happy to be like, I don't like mushrooms. Mushrooms are bad. I still don't like the stems of broccoli, and we'll cut them off if they're robust. But most of my childhood foods that I never liked, I still don't like them. I don't like cooked carrots. I don't like carrots in general. I don't like mushrooms to a large degree. Yeah, it's all pretty much the same. The only thing that I do like now is black licorice.
I just never come across it to like even change my ways on it.
I mean, it's a controversial subject, but I love it. So, okay, fuck. I think I haven't had a Fruity Pebble Rice Krispie in a long time, but I know it's good. Okay. So I like to keep it interesting. I would marry the Fruity Pebble Crispy because I know that it's good, even though it might have some surprises and I might be like, this is too much. I am a patient person sometimes. I would poly with the classic just in case I needed some stability. And I would fuck the Lucky Charms because what a wild ride.
Yeah.
What a wild ride.
Solid.
I couldn't do it all the time. It would destroy me, but it would injure my body, but it would.
This is dark. This is now dark.
I would have to see a doctor, but if it was constant, but yeah, it's just such a fucking, and I also, again, like I really like things that shouldn't be things. So like people are like, ew, Lucky Charms, like Crispies. And I'm like, yes, give it a chance. Like I like it because it's weird.
Yeah.
And I'll just eat it even if it's disgusting. But yeah, I mean, I think that's like a solid choice. It's so interesting that we both love snacks, obviously, so many of them similarly, but then your preference, and we both have very strong preferences.
Yes.
But yours are very different in some ways from mine.
Yeah. Again, chili. I'm so surprised. This is what happens when we talk snacks for over an hour is like, we're going to find out chili. We don't meet on chili.
No, exactly. So I do want to just quickly touch on Funyuns, which is an unusual chip arena as being something that's like a stable, solid snack. So you would reach for Funyuns before you would reach for Doritos and potato chips.
I would say Cooler Ranch Doritos is maybe second, but it's a far second. I think Funyuns are just, maybe it's a little bit nostalgia and like good moments, like the good times growing up. Like I would always get it with Subway sandwiches. And like I always had to buy lunch, but when we had to pick up, it was like a thing where my parents would, the night before, we'd go into the convenience store or like Subway or whatever, and I would always get Funyuns.
Yeah.
Maybe it's also like road trip. It's like a road trip snack that we like drove to Disney World one time when I was a kid, and I just like loved that trip so much, and we had Funyuns.
Yeah.
That I'm just such a fan of Funyuns now, but I don't even like the thing that they're inspired by onion rings that much.
Interesting. I love onion rings. I could fuck with onion rings. And I like
need
Funyuns.
to mix. I can't just have onion rings. I need onion rings and fries.
Interesting. I like that. I like that mix.
Yeah.
I can't commit to solely onion rings, truthfully.
Yeah.
And I think Doritos reign king for me.
Yeah.
Cool Ranch Doritos are really the ultimate, which has been like debated. And then I got Tangy Ranch from Rite Aid this weekend, and it tasted rotten.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
No, it's not good. So I am going to just ask you real quick, what's your favorite snack now?
Now?
Now. What's that's how it's going to be called. What's your favorite snack
I guess,
now?
you know what? I mean, it pops up in and out of my life, but peanut butter M&Ms are hard to beat.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Again, we talk about like, I've been refrigerating them quite a bit. So I'll get like those giant ass bags from the grocery stores.
Yeah.
Put in a refrigerator, and like it's like, oh, I'll stop and visit the peanut butter M&Ms in the fridge. But then cut to the bag is on my bedside table, and I'm watching 9 episodes of, Friday Night Lights or something. I've eaten the whole share size bag. So
share size can suck my dick. Truly, like, not even close. No, that's great. And the preferences change, and that's why it's fun. You've been a great guest.
Thanks for having me.
Love it. We have to have you come back. There's a lot of snack opinions. I mean, I think in summary, we've really addressed quite a few things that are important. We've debated the name of Muddy Buddies. We've learned that they were started from a dog food company. We've also talked about how important PTA mom food is. We've learned that chili is disgusting, and CJ's opinion is in the minority. And steak fries also disgusting. And that peanut butter M&Ms are a good fucking deal.
Hell yeah. Thanks for having me. This rocks. I love talking about this shit.
Yeah. So tell us where we can find you. I'm also going to post it under the under all of the video and podcast and shit.
Yeah, I mean, just follow me on Twitter, CJ Toledano. But then, I link out to all this stuff we're doing. Follow through. Thank you again for wearing the hat. But follow through. We're a fun sports company. We're making a lot of shows. See on Bleacher Report, NFL. We have a show coming on Whistle Sports, Twitch, all that fun stuff. But watch Sneak This on Bleacher Report, sneaker sketch comedy show with my friends Jamel and Rob. We're really proud of it. A few more episodes coming out. But that's about it.
Fuck yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, I love you. This was great. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Again, please spread the word, write a review, do all the fun shit. That'll make me popular. And CJ, thank you again.
Thanks, Lindsay.
All right, bye.
Later.
Okay.